All right. Don't know if this fan is super loud. I hope it's not. Um, Yankees had a really great win. It was a rough game for that first, about the first 6 innings. I know Luis Hill. You look at the box score, you're going to see 5 earned runs, 3 home runs. Really, just not what you were familiar with seeing. That really wasn't his style. But you look at the 1 walk, the 8 strikeouts. I mean, I think he pitched a much better game than a lot of people are going to give him credit for. And I understand why people aren't going to give him credit for said start. But when you look at the fact that, and I'm just going to pull up the Fangraphs live leaderboards right here. Luis Hill had, a 7.50 ERA, which is not great. But he had 3.67 xFIP and a 3.10 Sierra, which is great. Not great, but it's really good. And I get it. You want to see better run prevention from Luis Hill, but he's been really having some starts where he's had really great luck in terms of he's been walking a ton of guys. He hasn't given too many earned runs. Where at a start like this, you look at it and say, oh, that's his worst start. No. This is one of his better starts. So Luis Hill really showed me that he, if he's attacking the strike zone, he can really figure it out. And I think he's going to be a very important piece of the 2022 Yankees. Certainly not for this team right now, but certainly for next year. The offense was really just quiet for the first few innings. And then, of course, Aaron Judge, Joey Gallo, dropping bombs, right? They're doing their job. Tyler Wade even manufactured a run. He's a good ball player. Tyler Wade, I hated on him a lot. I really gave him a lot of crap. Almost cursed. I'm trying not to do that. I gave him a lot of crap during the season. He's become a fine ball player. Really a nice player to have on the ball club, especially a winning team. As for Clay Holmes, I mean, that guy is just that guy. And then the Heen Dog, he threw 1 2/3 innings. That's great to see. Scoreless, of course. My boy. Yo, what's up? What's up? You got people in the chat now. Ask away any questions. We're not just going to be talking about the post game. That was so long ago. I had a dentist appointment, so I couldn't really, go live immediately after. We did do it for Heaney. We did it for Heaney. This game was for Heaney. This was for the dog. The dog came in. No run support, nothing, and held it down. I got the red rubber bands. I didn't know I could put on red rubber bands, so I'm going to roll with those for the rest of the season. Rally bands. But ask me anything. I mean, anything Yankees, I got you with answers. Heen Dog, of course. I mean, look, man, I know he's not good. He's not going to make the postseason roster. We're going to let him go after he hits free agency at the end of the season, but it's just good to see him pitch well. He's really struggled with mental health, all that stuff. I just want him to pitch well. Do I think I make the wild card? Well, now that Bob Nightingale tweeted that we'll see you in the playoffs to the Blue Jays, I'm fairly confident that the Yankees might make the playoffs. Their playoff odds, I think, around 50%. So you would say that they have a above average shot, like they are likely to do so. But they have to take advantage of this cupcake schedule. Tampa's playing Toronto right now. Boston State playing Seattle. You gotta just beat up on bad teams. Try to win out as many games as you can. Then when you have those final 9 games in the season where you're playing Tampa, Toronto, Boston, not in that order. I can't remember. I think it's Toronto, Boston, and Tampa. I know Tampa's the last series. Don't quote me on that, but I do know Tampa is the last series. But don't quote me on that, juice. But you're going to be playing, through the best American League teams to end the season. Try to get some separation now and try to win out and get on a little hot streak and get yourself into a wild card. And, one game with Garrett Cole is all you really need. That should be you should have enough confidence in Garrett Cole to try to win a playoff game. So I would say better than not chance that we make it. Keep firing on questions. I've got time. I've got anything. I don't really have anything to do. Okay. Boston, Toronto, and Tampa in that order. So I was wrong. I said Toronto, Boston. My memory sucks. That's going to be huge. Not final 9 or 10 games of the season is going to be the most important of the season. That will determine whether you're getting to the playoffs or not. I know that goes without saying, but, it's just this is a team that absolutely needs to make the playoffs. Absolutely needs to make the playoffs. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Predictions for the next 3 series. I know we play Baltimore, Cleveland, and then Texas. Okay, Texas. I blocked out. I always forget the Texas series we play here in September. It's always kind of in the back of my head. I think realistically, it's good. I could say the Yankees go 7-9. I think they go 6-9 or 7-9. So 7 out of 9 games they win, or 6 out of 9 games they win. Anything lower than 6 games, or honestly, anything below 7-2 is pretty bad for them, considering you're trying to get back into the playoff spot. If they can get 7 out of 9, and you see Tampa beats up on the Blue Jays a little bit, maybe Boston and Toronto fall off just a little bit, tad bit. You're right back in the top wild card spot. You're only a game and 2 games out of second place. It's a close division. I'm gonna say 7-2. I think that's a good number for them. Or 6-3. One of those two. I don't think they sweep it, obviously. I don't think they do terribly, but I don't think they do I don't think they dominate, but I don't think they do bad, if you get what I'm saying. I think they do good enough to say you had a successful 9-game series. I'm rambling a lot. My brain's everywhere. Keep firing in questions. I got all the time in the world. Don't have too much homework. It's like 7 o'clock. I'm all good. 7 or 8 wins would be huge. You're back in the playoffs. I think you're guaranteed back in the playoffs by that point. So that'd be great. It's just good to have you guys here. It's great. I really enjoy your company. And I just like talking about baseball. I love talking about the Yankees. It's kind of all I do. Maybe I should share this link out on Facebook. Let me try that, because I completely forget to when I do these lives, because my brain kind of just misses out on that. So let's see. What is there to talk about the Yankees? I guess Clark Schmidt. Oh, yes. Okay. See, comment right about Clark Schmidt. Just as I bring up Clark Schmidt. I mean, we're just synergies perfect right now. I think it might be like Nick Nelson. They're just going to bring like a reliever. I don't think it'll be anyone like crazy. You're not going to see like, oh my God, is it going to be? Oh my God, what if it's Brooks Crease? Oh, that's going to be bad. If it's Brooks Crease, I might actually. I don't know if his 10 days are up. I think they sent him down after Toronto. So no, there's no shot. It's Brooks Crease. It has to be. Yeah, it can't be Brooks Crease. It's probably like Nick Nelson. I don't know, man. I don't know who it's going to be. Herman is not it, because Herman is having a rehab start tonight. I'm pretty sure Herman's having a rehab start tonight. Can't be him. Cannot be him. He hasn't had any rehab starts. Can't be him. I put a lot of money that it's not him. So, trying to see. What could this possibly be about? Maybe I'm going to guess it's Nick Nelson. Like, I'm really just going to guess it's Nick Nelson. It just feels like a Nick Nelson type of night. So I'm gonna say Nick Nelson. It can't be Sevy. If it was Sevy, I would lose my mind midstream. Like I'll get on the stream and just start crying on stream. Severino's like one of my favorite players of all time. I love that guy. I would do anything to have him back. Anything to have him back. Anything. Don't start asking me to list those things, though. I might get suspended. It doesn't count bad. But I would say Nick Nelson. That's probably, unless I'm forgetting anyone. Writings is hurt, so I would do crazy things with Sevy. I would probably run on my streets just screaming. Just insane kind of day. Today's been a great one. Yankees played a very good second half of that game. We won that game, and Clay Holmes is just stupidly good. Like Clay Holmes is stupidly good. I love Clay Holmes. What? Yeah, same. Got no idea. Let's see. What do we? Okay, I was just joking. Obviously, message retracted. I love when someone like it's like a type. Like I make typos all the time, and so like I just send like one word, like one letter. Could it be could it be Davey? Because I'm seeing this tweet by Papa Gardner. Love this guy, Papa G. All right. It's just they wouldn't build him up as a reliever major league in the major leagues though. It would have to be another way. So the options are Nelson, Gittins, Ambergy, and Florial. And I don't think it's going to be Florial. And I don't think I don't think it'll be. Oh no! Gleyber's offense. I think can completely turn it around. Like I'm a big believer that Gleyber is going to be a 117, 120 WRC plus hitter next season. I'm very positive of that. I saw that tweet as well. Just to confirm, because my brain. I'm trying to think. Because it was a good tweet. Like it was legitimately a very good tweet. Yep. Real Boshek, if I'm pronouncing it right. That was a great tweet. Phenomenal tweet. What was the problem with Heel today? Didn't get to watch. He just threw a bunch of cookies and early in the game. Gave up 3 home runs, but his strikeout stuff was there. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, really. He pitched a lot better today than he did in his last few starts. He was just walking a bunch of guys. It just wasn't pretty. Definitely in terms of the aggressiveness in the zone, you love to see it. Luis Heel, I didn't get to watch much of it either, so I'm really giving you a lot of box score stuff. But so like a 3.10 Sierra, 3.67 xFIP, that's a pretty good start. Despite the problem with the run prevention, definitely needs to work on his location because that 0-2 changeup. It was the problem with Heel is that he just doesn't have location or command right now. And you could look at the walk totals and say, oh well, he walked 1 guy, so it's, he's not walking anyone. So that means his command was great today. Not necessarily. It was great in terms of he could throw strikes, but his command in the zone was terrible. Or not terrible. Just early in the game, it was terrible. It's a situation where we're just he's still got to work on a lot of things. His changeup isn't great. He's probably got to slow it down a little bit so he can get more deception on the pitch because it's around 92 miles per hour. You're not getting as much deception on it as you would with like an 80 mile per hour, not 80 mile per hour, like an 88, 87 mile per hour changeup. To take a little bit off of it, they're going to make a lot of adjustments with Heel over the offseason. He's uber talented. Any chance Judge reaches 40 home runs? 7 home runs in the next 19 games is definitely a lot. So I don't know if he gets there. Assuming Judge is at 33. Yeah, Judge is at 33. I think he ends up with like 37. I'd say 4 over the next 19 is pretty realistic. I don't see him finishing with 40. I would love for that to happen, but I just don't. I can't see it right now. So yeah, I don't see it. Let's see. Questions we have. Keep firing questions. I've got time. I've got answers, and I got time and answers. That's really all I can really offer. But I think that's all we really need to answer questions, right? Just scrolling through Twitter while this is happening. Thoughts on the defensive alignment? That's how it has to be. Glaber's an awful, so bad defensively. It's not even funny. Like a negative 708 defender, I think he is. He's so bad at shortstop. It's incredible. I think LeMahieu is a better defensive third baseman than Urshela is. I think Urshela is somehow a better defensive shortstop than his third baseman. It's super weird. But it's better than having Glaber at short, so I'm cool with it. So I do think Wade should just start over Urshela at this point. I'm sad Luke played poorly tonight because I think, honestly, if he would have played well, they still won't play him that much. It's regardless of what he does, he's not going to get much playing time. And it sucks. Do you think they sign a free agent shortstop? Yes. I think they cement it. They're definitely going to get one. I would say just watch every single game Trevor Story's playing at this point because you want to see if Trevor Story is really that guy. Because legitimately, I'm not joking when I say this. Trevor Story, I can tell you right now, has the highest chance of becoming a Yankee out of any free agent I know. Platoon, Wade, and Urshela. That could work. That really could work. I think Urshela could be a utility guy. You can use him like that because he can play third. You can play a lot of different positions. You can definitely do something there. And that could be fun. It could be pretty fun. Just to see. I just want to see Urshela get back into form. He's too good of a guy, he's 1 OAA there. Pretty good idea. Oh, Warren. Yes. Warren's got great ideas. He's a good idea machine. All right. They got to sign a shortstop? Absolutely. A failure to acquire a shortstop would be, really, really, really bad on the organization. I just bit my tongue. Fuck. I feel like DJ's playing himself back into that utility role he was meant to be. No, I say he's definitely still going to start. He's definitely not playing well, but he's definitely still going to start. And I think he's going to be better over the course of another season. I think, and I know a lot of you guys are probably, wondering why I'm going to rely on Steamer projections over expected stats, but Steamer projects him to be a 116 WRC plus hitter. And I think that's where he's going to be as well, because he has phenomenal plate discipline and he does hit the ball similarly to what he did last year. So I think it'll just come around for him. So yeah, I think he'll post a 116 WRC plus, like 110 next year, something like that. Let's see what Zip's projections have him at for 2022. They have an 807 OPS, so he'll be fine next year. Trust me on that one. Dad, hi Chris. Hello, man. How are you doing? Let me know how you're doing, man. I hope you loved seeing Gary walk it off today. I know you're a big Gary guy. Jonathan, VR. I feel like VR, like I love VR, and I think it's a good option. But there's a lot of questions to be asked about a sample size at shortstop, which people rightfully brought up with me. And I think that's a phenomenal point, and I think it's one that like you really have to step back and say, is VR actually a shortstop? What would you do in center field next year? I would move Judge to center field and make Hicks like a left fielder and Gallo the right fielder, and just rotate everyone. Give Stant some days in the outfield, some of them at DH. Give Hicks some days in the outfield, some of them at DH. Same thing with Judge. Same thing with, not really with Gallo, but because Gallo really hasn't had those issues. But I would say same thing with Gallo. And just have a rotating door of center fielder, right fielder, left fielder, DH. Just keep all those guys fresh. I think Hicks is a good hitter. Can we start a GoFundMe to get steroids for DJ? Absolutely. I think we should just get steroids. Like, this is my plan. Get steroids for like half the team. Guys who have value and you can trade them. Get them all popped with steroids, or have them all popping steroids. And when they get caught for it, rebuild, trade everyone you can trade. Or no, excuse me, don't give it to guys with value. So you can trade the guys with value. But give everyone steroids that like suck. Make them good and like steroid merchants so that they suck without steroids. And everyone kind of knows it, right? And then your good players that aren't on steroids, you trade them once you win the World Series, and then you rebuild, and you're golden. Just do that every 5 years. Higgy Gary conversation. All right. And also, before I get into that, though, Chris, doing great. That's phenomenal. I'm having a fantastic day, so good to see you doing well. But for the Higgy Gary convo, Gary Sanchez is a better hitter than Cal Higashioka. No doubt about it. Gary Sanchez is an above-average major league hitter. Like, he is a good hitter for a catcher. Well, very good hitter for a catcher. Catchers usually suck offensively. Gary being above average already makes him upper echelon offensively. The problem is defense matters so much at the catching position, and Higgy is such a good defender that, considering the price tags both of them are going to have next season, Sanchez is probably going to hit $8 million in arbitration. Higashioka probably no more than like $2 million, maybe like $1.5 million. You got to sit back and say, if you get a left-handed guy to platoon with Higgy, you probably get more WAR value out of the catching position. But I really don't care whichever way they go, as long as money. If money doesn't stop them from doing it, that's fine with me. I don't care how they do it. Just win games. Dumb question, but thoughts on the cheating allegations? There's no such thing as a dumb question. The Yankees could not be cheating. If they were cheating, and I tweeted this, if they were cheating and lost the series to the Orioles, that would be the most embarrassing thing of my life. Like, I would not know how to cope with that. Like, how do you lose a series to Baltimore and then get swept by Toronto when you started cheating? Like, that's embarrassing. That's a nightmare situation. Do you think Gio and Voit, both of them, get traded in the offseason? I think it's a possibility, but I think Gio gets traded and not Voit. That's where I would go right now. I like Jason Castro as a platoon option with Higgy. Yes, but I'm not sure how willingly the Astros will be giving up Jason Castro when he's a good platoon with Martin Maldonado. Because I know Martin Maldonado, as much as, he kind of sucks offensively, I'm pretty sure he's a good framer. Let me just pull up the numbers right now. Yeah, I didn't even know Martin Maldonado was like 35. They have a really old catching battery. But as awful as a hitter as and he's an awful hitter. He's a pretty good framer, and they just like platooning him with Castro. And Castro, Castro's got his own merit. He's got a 349 xWOBA, but he seems to be just kind of like an xWOBA merchant. He's probably just hitting a ton of ground balls, and it's hitting him right into the shift. The last year, a ton of fly balls. But he's probably just not. He's probably just getting shifted really well, and he's super slow, so we can't do anything about it. Yeah, Steamer projects him at an 85 WRC plus. I'm fine with Jason Castro. I'm just not great on him. His defense isn't great enough to justify trading for him. Ideal lineup for next year. Also, Warren, not a free agent after this year. I'm pretty sure, at least. Let me just double check. But that's at least what I see on Fangraphs. Yeah, not a free agent until after 2022, though he could be non-tendered. All right. And then let me answer Chris's question. Ideal lineup for next season. I would say leading off, I'm just going to go by position first, and then I'll go lineups. Voit, my DH. At first base, I have... Actually, at first base, I have Voit. At second base, I have Glaber. At shortstop, I have Correa. At third base, I have LeMahieu. At catcher, I have Reese McGuire starting against right-handed pitching, and then Higashioka versus left-handed pitching, and or Gary Sanchez. I don't care either way enough. I care more about shortstop than I do about catcher. In center field, I have Aaron Judge. In right field, I have Joey Gallo. In left field, I have either Hicks or Stanton, and then the other guys put DHing. So Voit at first, Gleyber at second, Correa at short, LeMahieu at third, McGuire or Higgy or Sanchez, however they do it, at catching, and then Hicks, Gallo, Judge, and Stanton all getting reps in the outfield and at DH. But specifically Judge in center field. What do I think Correa signs? I think he goes. Honestly, it's going to be tough because, I just don't believe in the idea that something happened in the Mets game. I'm going to go check that out as I answer this question. But I don't know who's going to get him because you would say, oh, he doesn't want to be a Yankee. But if the Yankees offer him $300 million, why would he not go? Why would you not go and sign with a team that's giving you so much money, right? And then, maybe like the Tigers would want him. I don't know, man. I really don't. I would say Tigers. I'll just say Tigers. It's a loaded question. I remember when Maldonado was in All-Star finals. This is why All-Star games, All-Star, it's a great, whatchamacallit. It's a great, honor. And like, I definitely love to see guys who have worked really hard become All-Stars. But at the same time, I don't think, All-Star games are good enough ways to measure but measure how good you are as a player. Oh, I just saw it. He's hit him umpire in the head with a throw. Jesus Christ, oh, that's bloody. That's bad. That is bad. I'm going to turn that off now. Jesus Christ. That is awful. Rizzo, I don't think we resign him. I don't see the reason to give like $72 million to a first baseman, right? Which doesn't really make sense. You like the lineup? I love to hear that, man. Throw in your own inputs, guys. Just tell me what you like. Tell me who you want. Tell me who your guy is. Everyone's got a guy. And I need to know who your guy is. Sosa, he just fielded, spun, and the dude was bleeding instantaneously after contact. That's some scary stuff. What do you think the reaction from Yankee fans would be if Correa signs? I think half of the fan base would be like ecstatic, and the other half would be like losers and just mention like he's a cheater. Now I understand, you don't have to love Correa. Like I think if you hate Correa, that's fine. Like you can hate Correa, but you also have to recognize he helps the Yankees win. Like I totally get it. Like there are players I despise. Like I absolutely hate Patrick Mahomes. Like despise him. Absolutely despise him. If he played for the Cleveland Browns, I would welcome him. Not even think about it. But I hate him. Like I despise him. Like I get both sides of the coin. But I think most people who are like smart about it know that he would help the Yankees win a championship, and they just don't like him. But they know he'd win a championship here. Like I think people are smart enough to come around on that. Like I know Chris doesn't like Correa at all, but I know he's smart enough to know that Correa is a good player and helps you win a World Series, right? Like he can identify it too. There are some people who can't identify the difference. There are people who hate him, but identify that he's a very good player. That's as long as you're there that he's good. I'm good with that. Well, you think we see Sevy at all this year? Not very confident at all. I think it's like maybe you'll get like a couple innings in September. I don't know if he'll make the playoff roster. When Correa hits the walk-off home run in the World Series, if Correa hits a walk-off home run in the World Series, I will go nuts. If he's a New York Yankee, I would go nuts. That's just how I stand on this. I hate him. I hate most players that are not Yankees, that are like rivals. Like most Astros, I despise them. Most Red Sox, I despise them. Most Rays, I despise them. But I know that their good players would help my team, and so I want their good players on my team. Also, I would love to see like Carlos Correa holding up like a Yankee jersey. Let me use my A-Rod jersey right here. When I was like a really small kid. Love A-Rod, by the way. Like holding up the jersey, like, oh, I've always wanted to be a Yankee. I've always wanted to be a Yankee. Like saying something like that, that would make me the happiest man in the world. Let me hang this back up. Just fell down. Keep shooting questions. We're pushing at around half hour. That's probably where we'll stop there. But keep firing them in. Gallo hot streak coming? It might be coming. His at-bats have looked a lot better. 2 home runs. I think he has 3 home runs since that series in Baltimore. So he's looking a little bit better. Not there yet. We're not going to call it a hot streak until, it's through 2 weeks, I would say 2 weeks of sustained good offensive production. That's what we're gonna label it as. You got to give me 2 weeks. You know, and I can go a hot streak. All right, I think we can agree there. Because even if you count back to that Baltimore game, he only has a 97 WRC plus since then. Today obviously would boost his WRC plus to around the 112 range since then. So yeah, I know in his and he has he's played a lot more sparingly because we went to the National League rules for a couple of games against the Mets, nightmare games. So, Gallo hot streak might be on the way. I would love it. I love Gallo. Should the Yankees go after a starter in the offseason? Yes. But a guy who can give them volume. I don't want to, I thought Lance Lynn was kind of a perfect fit, or Jose Barrios, because both of those guys just throw so many innings, and I think that's really valuable to a team. But I wouldn't have made the trade for Jose Barrios if I was the Blue Jays based on what they gave up. Even though he's a really nice pitcher. He has a 3.71 Sierra, 3.52 ERA. Those are some really good numbers. I just don't know if I would have paid that price. And then Lance Lynn is another guy where it's like I wanted Lynn a lot because Lance Lynn's an innings eater. He's an innings eating Chad. And while he's kind of a peripherals an ERA merchant, it'll probably regress a little bit. I just think the Yankees just need to find a guy who can give you 180 innings pretty easily or comfortably with good production. Not even talking about elite production. Give me like a 3.7, 3.6 ERA, and that's everything the Yankees need. Luis Castillo buy low candidate. Reds are not going to sell. Why would I don't know why the Reds would sell at this point. Though I do think. Let me just quote Castillo's numbers right now. He's got a 4.07 Sierra on the year, though it's a little bit inflated. I think. So when you look at his bad start, where does it really end for him? Where would you say this ended for him? I would say it ended right around this mark. So on the 4th, June 4th was kind of like the end of that really bad streak. 6.63 ERA. A 4.61 Sierra. Since then, he's posted a 3.76 Sierra, a 2.98 ERA. Definitely looking a lot better. But I don't know if he's a buy low because he's pitching a lot better as of late. Nailed it. And the Reds they're just not a bad team. They're a good team. They have a good farm. They should keep building. Who would you start game 1 of the ALDS? Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery was my game 1 start of the ALDS of Cole pitched the wild card game. Jordan Montgomery is a big game pitcher. Put this. I don't care where this is recorded. Don't care. He is a big game pitcher. I trust that guy in my life in a big game. You're probably right, but they could pull a Cleveland. Maybe, but I don't see that as them. They just don't. They don't give me that. Sell them off with their highest value kind of team. They didn't do it Castillo last year, so that tells me that happened. That happened. That tells me they're not going to do it. If they didn't trade him after last year, no reason to trade him with his value so low. Let's see. Though that is a very interesting question. I think we just have to, sometimes we just start, sometimes we just need to talk about starting pitching, right? Just need to have a conversation about it. Let's have a conversation about these players, right? It's always good to just get your thoughts on these guys. I guess I could pull up free agency. Can I show anything other than? I don't think I can show anything other than this screen, which sucks. I have to figure out how to stream better on YouTube. This could be fun. Matt Olson, future Yankee. I saw that section in the Athletic, that article. Oh, if Matt Olson's a Yankee, I would trade whatever I need to trade for that. Let me just pull up Matt Olson's stats for all of you, because Matt Olson is legitimately one of the best left-handed hitters in baseball, and I love this guy. He has a 149 WRC plus. He's walking 12% of the time. He cut his strikeout percentage down. I think the biggest percentage decrease in all of baseball. He has incredible play discipline. He's barreling the ball at an insane rate. He lifts the ball at an insane rate. He's an insane player. That's just what he is. Yes, Medina will be better than Gil. Yep. If they both hit their ceilings, Medina is better than Gil. Dude throws, 102? The dude's so nasty. Let's pull up Luis Medina's metrics. I'm saying metrics to be fancy, but numbers. I know in Double A he hasn't had the best season. Higher walk rate than you'd like to see. But in Double A as of late, he's looked a lot sharper, which is good to see. In his last 5 starts, he has a 5.4% walk percentage. That's really nice to see. Striking out 30.6% of batters faced. ERA isn't great, I understand, but look, man, I don't really care as long as he's not walking guys. As long as he's striking guys out, I'm all good. Yeah, Matt, trade. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Matt Olson's an incredible defender at first base. Or actually, maybe not this year. Yeah, he's around average this year. Last year, negative 108, but he's usually much better than that. But for his expected home runs, and this is just the crazy part. I love this. The expected home run rate would probably go nuts. I want to look at the Illustrator chart because, Illustrator's just beautiful. In the meantime, I'll answer some questions. Trade Davey for a bag of chips. There's too much to ask. Don't trade Davey right now. Don't do it. Yeah, Matt Olson will kill in Yankee Stadium. Yeah, they would give up. I'd give up a lot for Olson as well. I think he's a special player. I really do think that. I think highly of him. Very highly of him. Straight chart. Kauffman Stadium. Nope. We want Yankee Stadium. You can already just see all the fly balls. Or either doubles or flyouts that just become home runs in Yankee Stadium. He would be a monster here. He'd be a monster. He's already a monster. He'd be like a 50 home run hitter here consistently. If he stood healthy, obviously. And he stays decently healthy. So, yeah. We're pushing on the half an hour mark. Probably cut things off here. It's great talking to you guys because it is 8:04. I got school. Got to wake up at like 5-something in the morning. Let me answer just final rounds. Send in some questions while I do my little bit of an outro, and then I'll answer all of them. So last rounds, get your last questions in, and I'll answer them now because I got school. I'm a student. I probably want to wrap this up, work on an article, and start, making sure I don't have any homework to finish, all that stuff. Getting out, clothes picked out for tomorrow because I'm one of those people, like, I want to get everything done before it's like 5:50 in the morning and I'm just awake. So yeah, get your last questions in. For the first one by Michael, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry, but if you could help me out with it, that'd be great. But I'm just gonna refer you as Michael for now. Anytime Judge gets an extension Judge gets an extension this offseason. If so, how much do you think? I think there's a great chance he gets extended. I think around 7 years, 210 is a pretty good mark for him. Kind of like what Rendon got. So yeah. What contract would I give Seager? 5 years, 100 million, 115 million. That's like the most I'd go with him. I don't think he's that great. He's more of a third baseman. And he's not like a Rendon type player. So I wouldn't have given him 210, 7 years. So, I'd say less than Rendon. Rendon's kind of like benchmark for really good position players. You're either an above Rendon or a below Rendon guy. Judge is an above Rendon guy. But I think if you got a Rendon offer, that's good for him. And then a below Rendon guy is like Seager. So yeah, get your last rounds of questions in. We're going to start wrapping things up. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I hope we can keep doing this. This is really fun. Sorry we didn't do it yesterday. Game ran really late. Had to go to sleep. So yeah, get your questions in. Last call. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll wrap things up here. Love you guys very dearly. I appreciate the support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be doing this as much as we can. We're going to try to get, I'm going to try to bring people on. That's going to be fun. Probably going to try to get Jack on. If you guys know Jack, we'll be nerds. Definitely going to try to get him on. Big Yankee fan. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, next live, whatever. See you guys right now.